What's up, everyone? This is Bacon, and today we have another tier list with the signature items and the ascension levels for dimensionals. I'm including the ascension levels because with dimensionals, they're a little different than your typical heroes. They're a lot harder to level up, and they're also very limited resources for most players. And so it's nice to know at what exact ascension mark you should get these heroes to. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you these on top of the signature items, unlike the other ones, just because with normal factions, it's just way easier to get copies of your heroes. And my general recommendation is if you're going to get a hero to Ascension level 3, might as well get them to 5 stars. But with Dimensionals, it looks a little different because of how tricky and hard it can be to get them kind of leveled up. So here you go. As you can see, we got 8 dimensional heroes in the game now. They are all S and A tiers. There are no bad dimensional heroes. So I guess this is the state of dimensionals, which isn't too surprising. If you're going to have a collab and have new heroes like this, you want them to be good and useful. So I am glad that they are, definitely good heroes. So we're going to start off with Shalt here, A3 and signature item 20. Basically, this gives her some more survivability. It has her kind of cheat death up to 3 times now. And then she just kind of gets a little more beefier and stronger as the round goes on. And so that is why she is A3 SI20. Getting her to 5 basically gives her more resistance against summons, which can be useful, but is definitely not a high priority. And then signature item 30 is just another thing where it could be useful, but just isn't super necessary. So now we're going to go to Marcel. Marcel A5, I think, is definitely something you want to get with her. It basically has an automatic revive for the first hero on your team that dies, which is very nice. Having people come back to life after they die is very nice in this game and in most games. Signature item 20 basically helps her with her her stacking of her black magic abilities. And Marcel's the second strongest dimensional in the game, in my opinion. I think she's really great. I think she's a fun hero. Very happy with how she has turned out. Shin Jong Wu is still getting a little bit of playtesting, but he definitely, I would say, is probably around the 3rd mark as far as dimensionals go. He's very versatile. He can be placed in pretty much every part of the game. A5, though, basically, that makes his solo leveling skills and abilities where he just continues to get stronger even better. And then S20 kind of makes his poisoning ability right at the sweet spot of where it's you don't really need to get to 30, but 20 kind of makes his poison very useful. Let's go up to Laos. Laos is a hero where A1 is, if you're going to send him, probably where I'd recommend. You could also get him just to Mythic or Mythic Plus, so you can get that signature item and then get the signature item to 20. I think getting his signature item to 20 is more important than his A1, but his A1 is really nice. They both kind of give some buffs to the team and to himself, and some debuffing potential against the other team as well. So that's kind of the sweet spot for Laos. He's not a hero that's necessary to max out, though I do really like him. I like him a lot, and I want to get him pretty high in my personal account, but I don't know if I'm going to go much farther than A1 and SI20. All right, now to the A tier, we have Albido. Albido, her A3 is important because basically it can give her immunity when a first ally dies, which is nice. Immunity is very nice, and it kind of adds a lot of tankiness to her. Before, she wasn't like super tanky, but this kind of gives her some tankiness, which is really nice. And then her signature item 30 is very important for dimensionals. So basically, her signature item will buff all these heroes if they are on the same team. So the higher you get her signature item, the bigger the buff. And so she's really the only one that I personally would recommend getting to 30. I don't think, compared to Ainz is anywhere as close as useful as Albido, especially right now. So let's go ahead and talk about Arthur. Before we get into Ainz, though, Arthur is an interesting hero that I wish I had, but I just haven't spent any money to get him. But basically, he buffs the hero behind him, and then he also has some like tankiness and some increased damage that his signature items and his ascension does. So that's kind of how his kit works. He's a dimensional that you basically get him from different events throughout the year. And you can get him in shards. So you can get like 15 pieces of him from one event and then 15 from another. But you got to spend money on all of them to basically get these. So definitely a little annoying that that's a thing, but I digress. Then you get Ainz. Ainz is someone who pairs really well with Albido. Basically, you should always have them together. And he needs maxed everything to be as good as he can be. If you don't max him out, I don't think he's really worth investing in. Signature item 30. That will basically increase his one of these increases his like how often or how quickly he does his like blast and the frequency of it, and the other one is just kind of like a damage increase. I think the damage one is his signature item, and then his divine effect is basically he will do his like chant less, which means he will ult sooner. Ainz is a cool hero, but definitely you can invest this in other heroes, and it's not worth investing in him as much. And then last, but probably least, I would say, is Chahilin. Chahilin. She is a hero who basically her A5 grants her the ability to just get stronger as the battle goes on and as she kind of fights. And then her signature item will allow her to kind of apply a debuff sort of to the heroes that she hits. And the good thing is her ultimate hits everyone, so basically makes everyone take more damage that she hits from her allies, which is a nice little thing to add, especially when you have heroes like Shin Jong Wu, who buffs her but also does an AoE damage, or other heroes that do a lot of AoE damage. It can be really nice when they're all taking more damage. But that's the dimensional heroes. It's short and sweet, not a big list, but definitely important if you have some of these heroes and you're kind of unsure who to invest in. Hopefully that's helpful. And if you're wondering, like in order, who you should invest in, I think just going from top to down is probably the best option. With the one exception, I think Albido, even though she's A tier, is very valuable when putting together a dimensional team. And so it might be worth kind of focusing her if you have her, but don't have her built out. But obviously, there's no way to get the spirit shards for dimensionals anymore into the next dimensional hit event. So make sure you are saving those scrolls and diamonds. And if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe below. Have a great day. Peace.